Talk about a bloodbath today, guys. Holy freaking crap. We had the S&P 500 close down 1.6% as the NASDAQ went down 1.9%, and we had the Russell down 2.4% as the Dow went down 1%, and we had the VIX up 11%. Like I said, guys, we could see a spike in the VIX. Here we are. Today, I think the VIX at one point was up 16%. So, yeah, we have a lot to break down. We're going to go over the markets and a bunch of earnings that just came out that I actually haven't even seen yet. So, yeah, jam-packed video today, guys. If you find value, all I ask is to hit that like button and subscribe. And if you want some free money, don't forget to get up to 15 stocks from Moomoo and 12 stocks from Webull, literally up to 27 stocks. Link down below. And, of course, all those links help out the channel. And with that being said, let's just dive right into it because, again, we have a lot to break down. So everything today was pretty much in free fall, especially the Russell. Holy crap, the Russell, the small caps did not do well at all today. And now it seems like SPY's going down to test 407, which you guys know, especially if you've been watching my channel, 407 was that resistance point from the beginning of March of 2023. You guys can see right here, we hit 407. Then we went down all the way to about 380 until we broke out of 407 again just about 3 weeks ago, roughly in the beginning of April. So now we're testing that point again, which happens to be right by the 180 SMA on this 4-hour chart. And now that I'm looking at it, did SPY go all the way down to 404 today? Yeah, roughly 405, not 404, more like 405 right before the close, 406. And now it's actually spiking up. That means there's probably a couple big stocks out there moving up, which we'll talk about here in a minute. So what are we going to see at the 180 SMA here on the 4-hour chart tomorrow? That's the million-dollar question. Will the trend continue? Will we ultimately break 415, 416, which you guys can see we've struggled at that point for literally months at this point. You can see back in September, boom, here back in December, back in February right here, and now recently we've been struggling again at 415, 16. So are we going to break out? Are we going to see the ascending triangle play out, which we do have an ascending triangle? You guys probably see that. Boom, higher lows being made at the same time as, again, we have that 415, 16 resistance. So let's see what direction SPY ends up picking. And on triple Q, let me pull it up. This is pretty much in a very similar spot. We're testing an old resistance now as support at about 310 to about 312-ish roughly. That was the high from back in the beginning of February. That's where we're testing now. And right by the 180 SMA on the 4-hour chart. And hold on a second. Wait a second. No, I'm actually wrong. We're actually taking out the moving average. I couldn't see it because the candle here, it's a pretty funky looking candle, so I couldn't really see it. I had to zoom in a bit. But now we're actually falling under the 180 SMA. We're taking the lows out from the middle of April, right at 312. I'll draw it out to show you guys. That is not a good sign for the bulls here at all when it comes to triple Q. Just a quick little glance, just taking a quick glance, I can tell you that right off the bat, right? So are we going to recover back over 312, 313, the 180 SMA? That's the million-dollar question. That would be very good overall for the bulls. So for that reason, I'm going to set an alert at $313. Mark is at or above, and we'll see where we end up going from there. If that does break, we retake that level, there could be a nice move from that point, arguably back to 318, 320, but we have to be patient and see if it actually plays out. And did you guys see the VIX today? Again, like I said, I think literally yesterday. I mean, geez, guys, I said this yesterday that we were due for a spike in the VIX, maybe back to the low mid-20s, which granted, we didn't get there today, but we got pretty close to 20. I mean, I think at one point the VIX was up 16, 17%. It closed up 11%. You guys can see on the intraday chart here, we might have hit, 1986, almost 20 points today on the VIX, and at one point it was up roughly 18.5%. Did I think it was going to go up that much today? No, but it did. And the stock market, guys, and especially the VIX, does things that sometimes, well, you just cannot predict, or else everybody would know everything and everybody would be billionaires, right? Which obviously is not the case. So you guys know I'm in UVXY, which I bought a couple of days ago. I forget, maybe about a week ago at this point. I bought it at 415, and now look at it, guys. It is at 419. So I was down. I was down at one point because you can't get the timing right all the time. but I knew, well, I don't want to say I knew, I had a little feeling, an inkling, right, that we were going to see a spike in the VIX. I just didn't know exactly what day it was, so I might have gotten a little bit early, but now this thing is taking off, and we'll see where it can go. This thing went up 11.75% today. It got all the way to 423, and I think we could go towards the high fours on this, maybe $5, maybe even higher than that, or else I would have sold today on this run. I'm still holding, guys. I'm still holding because, again, I think it could go higher. That is UVXY, and I'm not telling you guys to buy. I'm just letting you know what I'm doing right now, and I could be wrong. I could have lose money. Who knows? But right now, I'm confident in my position here on UVXY. So what do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. And with that being said, let's talk about some stocks because we had a lot of companies report earnings today. We're going to talk about Google, Microsoft, and Enphase in the beginning of the video. Then later, we're going to talk about Visa, Chipotle, Raytheon, and UPS. So make sure you guys stick on throughout. So let's start off this part of the video with Alphabet, ticker symbol GOOG, which happens to be my biggest individual stock holding. You guys probably know that. Maybe you don't. I'm letting you know now for all of you, out there that didn't know. So Alphabet reported earnings, and mind you, I didn't look at any of these earnings yet. It's going to be a surprise for me. And their stock went down 2% on the day today, closed at 104.60, and right now after the bell, it is, oh wow, look at that. It's up almost $4 a share, and at one point it was up to $110. Let's go, baby. It was up almost 6% at one point, and now it's at, what is it, up 3.5%. Pretty good for a company of this magnitude, guys. This company's worth what, $1.6 trillion last I checked, maybe, give or take a couple billion, I don't know, but it's up there. So a move of 3%, 5%, that is a massive move. You got to realize that is pretty intense. So let's see what they ended up doing here, guys. Bear with me. It looks like they did EPS of $1.17 versus the $1.06 estimate. That's good. And revenue came in, oh, look at that, $69.79 billion versus the $68.9 billion estimated. So they beat EPS and they beat on revenue, which is phenomenal. That's great. Double beat. And let's see how this did broken down into segments. And honestly, guys, I'm going to do another video tomorrow diving into the actual earnings release for Google, so make sure to subscribe. There's going to be a lot of content. We're going to talk about, again, Microsoft, might do a deep dive into that one and maybe some other companies as well. So hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. You're not going to want to miss those videos. So it looks like here YouTube ad revenue came in at $6.69 billion. Google services revenue $61.96 billion. Looks like advertising revenue $54.55 billion. Awesome. And let's see, anything else? Operating income $17.42 billion. Operating margin 25%. Other bets revenue $288 million, which is really nothing for Google. That's like pennies in the couch for Google, guys. But either way, $288 million on other bets. Revenue, cloud revenue, $7.45 billion, and Google search and other revenue, $40.36 billion. Again, revenue almost $70 billion with a net of $15.05 billion. Not bad at all. And do we have anything here on guidance? Maybe guidance is not even out yet, guys. It's only 4:25 or 4:23 to be exact, and every minute counts here after the bell, especially during earnings season, and it might be a little bit too early, but overall, those are some key numbers, and the stock is loving it. Now it's pushing up to $109 pretty much per share here after the bell. And let me see, what does this say here? This says, wow, Google Cloud revenue last year was $5.82 billion, and again, they just did 7.45. So this thing is growing 1.6 billion year over year. That is probably around 35% revenue growth, something like that for cloud. That's really good. And Google search revenue last year was 39.62. This year they just did 40.35 billion. So that's growing, obviously not as much as cloud, but still growing a decent chunk year over year. So again, subscribe because we're going to do a deeper dive into Google's earnings. We'll do that tomorrow. And overall, guys, this stock is on the verge of fully breaking out, and it's been a long time coming. It's not guaranteed, of course, but it's been a long time coming considering the stock's been chopping between, it's been trading in a wide range, but it's between, $88 to about $110 for the past couple of months. Now we have a cup and handle, arguably an ascending triangle. My alert's at 110. If that breaks, guys, we could be getting a massive move, which again, it's been a long time coming. Maybe Google Alphabet starts going, 117. That's a key level I'm looking at. Maybe back to the low mid 120s where it was back in August. You guys see right here. So there could be a lot more upside coming in Google. Let's just see how the earnings call goes. If guidance comes out of it, that's going to be something worth watching. So Microsoft, MSFT, let me pull it up and show you guys. This closed at 275, down 2.2% on the day. And look at that. After the bell, it is up to 287. So right off the bat, guys, the fact that these big companies, their stocks are ripping after the bell, that's good for the overall stock market. That's really good, at least as of now. I mean, things could reverse in a couple of hours tomorrow if bad news comes out during the earnings call. But right now, it's looking good, and this is going to potentially pop the markets tomorrow. It's too early to tell, but it's just an idea here heading into tomorrow. So Microsoft is up about, let's see, $14, $13, which is 4.5%. Pretty big move. And let me see here on the live news tab what the heck they ended up doing. Bear with me here, guys. So it looks like they did EPS of 245, which beat the 223 estimate, so that beat. So that's great. And sales came in at $52.9 billion, which beat the $51.02 billion estimated. So they beat EPS by a wide margin. Same with revenue. You cannot complain about that. And let me see how they're doing on Azure, guys. Azure growth is important here, of course, for the business. And we'll probably do a deeper dive into Microsoft. But it looks like here they returned $9.7 billion to shareholders in form of share repurchases and dividends, which I'm not a big fan of dividends, but we're not going to get into that rabbit hole in this video. Let's come up here a little bit more. It looks like intelligent cloud revenue, $22.08 billion. More personal computing revenue, $13.26 billion. All right. Looks like here Windows OEM revenue down 28% year over year. Oh my God, that is down a good chunk there, as we have server products and cloud services up 17%. Devices revenue down 30%. All right. Xbox content and services revenue up 3%. Pretty flat there. That's expected. I'm not surprised when it comes to Xbox content services and revenue. Let's see. What did Azure do, guys? Am I just missing it? Either way, we're going to do a deeper dive into it tomorrow. Maybe I'm missing it. I'm making a bunch of videos these days, guys. Either way, we'll find it. We'll talk about it most likely tomorrow. And we have the stock completely popping here, up $13 after the bell. You cannot complain about that. And it looks like clearly buyers are coming in right by the 180 SMA that we've been looking at here over the past couple of months, because that's held as support over the past couple of months, as you guys can see. Now my alert's at 300. Might as well bring that down a little bit. We'll put it at about 293, where the stock is currently right now. Well, it's a little bit under that right now, but I'll put it at 293 because that's the high from a couple of weeks ago and at the end of last month, So Microsoft looking pretty good. Now let's take a look at Enphase, guys. Do you remember how I said this thing moves like crazy? It could be dumping. It could be breaking out. We'll see. I don't know. Actually, I've not looked at it yet, but let's see what it's doing right now. I have a feeling it's breaking out. Let me see if I'm right. I could be wrong. Watch me be wrong. Holy crap. I'm not editing this out, guys. I'm wrong. Oh my God. Look at that. Holy smokes. This thing is collapsing, guys. Oh my God. See? That reason right there is why you don't trade earnings, or at least I don't trade earnings anymore. Do you guys see what I just did? I said I feel like this could be breaking out after earnings. And look at it now. That's the reality. Nobody knows exactly what a stock's going to do after earnings come out. That's arguably, it probably is the most volatile time for stocks during an earnings report. So, I mean, look at this. Oh my God, guys. It closed at 220, already down 2% on the day. Now it's down to 187. It is down 15% after the bell. That is just, oh my God, that's just awful. Imagine buying calls on this. You would be down, well, depending on your strike, but let's say you bought calls that expire this Friday, you would probably be down maybe 90% now, 75%, depending on your strike. When it expires, of course, there's a lot more that goes into it, but you would be screwed right now. Let me just put it like that. You would be screwed right now unless you bought leaps, calls that are over a year out. I mean, that's different, but if you're buying short-term calls, guys, you would be getting fleeced right now. That's just the reality of the matter. So let me see on the 4-hour chart what Enphase is looking like now. Now it's looking like it wants to go to test the lows from back in the middle of March, guys. No joke. 181, that's where it looks like it could be going. It already took the lows out from the end of March, early April. That's where it could be going now. 181, maybe even lower than that. And now it's back under the moving averages. It was so close to breaking out. Now it's just in free fall mode right now. That sucks. I mean, that sucks right now for Enphase. So before we continue on with Visa stock, if you guys have not gotten up to 15 stocks yet for Moomoo, what are you waiting for? Use that link down below. Once you guys open up an account, you get 1 free share of stock. If you deposit at least $100, you get 4 more stocks, totaling 5 stocks. And if you deposit at least $1,000 onto the Moomoo platform, guys, you get another 10 stocks, totaling 15 free stocks. And if you guys don't like the platform, you can simply take out all your money, withdraw all your deposits once you get your free stocks, and you keep all your money. It's literally free money. It also helps out the channel, guys. And if you want up to 12 more stocks from Webull, that's also linked down below. You can't go wrong with that. So up to 27 stocks linked down below. Cheers, guys. And with that being said, as I'm knocking the mic over, I'm trying to get my coffee, guys. Cheers. Let's continue on. So Visa ended up doing $2.09 in EPS versus the $1.99 estimate. So that beat, and it looks like here they also beat on sales, $7.99 billion versus $7.79 billion estimated. And you guys probably remember, I think I covered it earlier today. Yeah, I did in my previous video. Well, one of my previous videos, we covered it and talked about how this is an ascending triangle on Visa on the 4-hour chart here. We have resistance at 235.36, but at the same time, we're making higher lows. We have been for months at this point. So ultimately, guys, what I think could happen is if we clear past 235, 236, we could start breaking out towards 250 on Visa, which happens to be the all-time high from about 2 years ago. You guys probably remember that. So let's see what happens with Visa at 236. That's where my alert's at. We also had one of my favorite places to eat, guys, at least fast casual, not fast. I wouldn't say it's fast food. Maybe it's fast food. I don't know. But it's Chipotle, ticker symbol CMG. And by the way, is Chipotle fast food? Let me know in the comments. Or is it more fast casual? Is that's a category, right, guys? Either way, Chipotle, I love the food, and well, it looks like the stock is loving the earnings report. Look at that. The stock is up to over $1,870 after the bell when it closed under $1,800 today. It went down 0.9% on the day, closed at $1,780 on the dot, and now it is up again a good chunk here, about 5% after the bell. So let me see what they ended up doing. I mean, they have to be making money. They raised their tortilla prices. It was $0. Now it's 50 cents. I mean, come on, guys. Come on. They raised that. Meat prices are up. I mean, they have to be doing well at this point, right? I mean, look, guys, again, up 5% after the bell. Looks like they ended up doing, where is it here, guys? They did $10.50 EPS for the quarter, which crushed the $8.92 estimate. That's great. And sales beat as well. $2.37 billion versus $2.34 billion estimated. Holy crap. So double beat for Chipotle Mexican Grill. And now they see 255 to 285 new restaurant openings, including 10 to 50 relocations to add a Chipotlane, which I've never actually seen a Chipotlane. That's actually a good play on words there. I guess that's a drive-through. They call it Chipotlane. Do you guys have those near you? I've never seen one near me. I don't know. But I guess people like to drive through. And personally, I don't know. I feel like I would want to still go in to Chipotle because, I don't know, the way I do it is I always ask for extra rice, extra veggies, extra beans. I try to get the most bang for my buck. And if they're doing it for you without you standing over them, I feel like, you know what I mean, guys? They're not going to put as much food. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm nuts. Maybe I'm crazy. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. But look, stock's moving up like crazy, looking pretty good right now. And we are clearly breaking out of a multi-month resistance, which was at 1730. We're breaking out of there. That's a very good sign overall for the bulls. Let me see what else, guys. We have 2 more stocks. By the way, if you're watching this video still, you're awesome. I appreciate you as always. Smash that like button while you're at it if you haven't done so already. And if for some reason you're not subscribed, make sure to subscribe. We're so close to 30,000 subscribers. That's the next goal. We're trying to get to 50 after that. Then, of course, 100K. We're on our way, guys. So RTX is Raytheon. This one's looks like it's pretty flat or slightly down after the bell. Not crazy. Actually, no, they reported in the morning. Oops. My bad, guys. They reported in the morning. The stock was at 105. Now it closed at what? About 100, 101. Went down 1.3% on the day. So they ended up doing $1.22 EPS versus the $1.13 estimate on sales of $17.21 billion versus the $16.79 billion estimated. So they beat EPS, beat on sales, pretty good there, and they see full year 23 adjusted EPS of $4.90 to 505 versus the 501 estimate, and sales of 72 to 73 billion versus the 72.43 billion estimated. So not bad. The BDPS revenue guidance is not bad, pretty much right in line there, and their stock is not looking so pretty. It was breaking out of this channel. You guys can see we did get to about $105, but now we're falling right through the channel again. We're back in the middle of it, right by the 180 estimate, which if we break that right at 99.50, this could start falling really aggressively from there. Let me actually set an alert. Let me do that again. Mark is at or below 90. I'll put it at 99 bucks. Mark is at or below. We'll see where RTX ends up going from there. And actually, guys, I forgot to tell you, I did see UPS's earnings, which is the next company for this video, and I saw them because they reported this morning. And let me tell you guys, man, they did not do well at all. The stock went down 10% on the day, closed at 176 bucks, and now it's completely breaking trend on this 4-hour chart. We're taking out the lows from the past couple of weeks. We took out the lows actually from 2 months ago, almost, actually more like a month and a half ago. Either way, we took out 178. Now we're at 175, the low from about 2 months ago being about, again, 175. If that breaks, guys, man, this is going to really start falling aggressively, in my opinion. So UPS reported this morning. It looks like here, I forget, what did they do? They missed on EPS. Yup, 220 versus 221, so it's not like a crazy miss, but they did miss nonetheless, and revenue missed as well. 22.9 billion versus 23.01 billion estimated. Did we get guidance? Let me see here. Guidance, they see 2023 revenue around 97 billion versus previous guidance of 97 to 99 billion, so a little bit under the higher end of the estimate there for guidance for full year 23. Maybe that's pissing off shareholders, I don't know, but you could also make the argument that this stock just ran way too much heading into earnings. I mean, this thing ran after the last earnings report. It just hit almost 200 bucks. When to start off the year, well, a little bit before, back in October, we were at 150 bucks. So this thing was already up almost 30% heading into earnings, not including dividends. With dividends, it's probably up 30%, maybe more than that. I don't know. But yeah, it might have got a little bit too ahead of itself. Now we're seeing that sell off. And at this point, guys, it's a falling knife. I wouldn't mess with it until we start to see the dust settle. When's the dust going to settle, right? That's the $1 million question here on UPS. We're right at 175, which was support about 2 months ago. This will, I don't want to say it's not going to hold. I mean, I'm not going to say it will hold, but if you're a bull, you want to see this hold. You're in desperate need of this to hold, but if it does not hold, this could be going. You got to realize low 170s, maybe even under that point. That's where we could be going, but at some point, guys, once the dust settles, in my opinion, we will have a relief rally, but we just don't know when that's going to be. We shall see. So with that being said, guys, this is going to be a longer video. I'm going to wrap it up. If you enjoyed it, smash that like button. Make sure to subscribe, and don't forget to get up to 15 stocks for Moomoo. Open up an account. You get 1 free share of stock. Deposit at least 100 bucks. You get 4 more. And if you deposit at least 1,000 bucks, you get 10 more stocks, totaling 15 free stocks. Link down below. And of course, you could also get 12 stocks from Webull. Check out my Patreon. All that good stuff helps out the channel. I appreciate you all as always. And with that being said, cheers. I'll catch you in the next one.